Well, as sad as it is, I've had to shut the piglets in. So the piglets are now 12 weeks old, so 3 months old, and for the most of their life, as soon as they were happy to be away from mum, they would jump out the electric fencing and they would go off and explore the 15-acre field. And I was completely fine with that because they were very good. They were landscaping, they were turning up bits of soil, unearthing the seedbed, helping rejuvenate the landscape. However, yesterday I found them in my neighbour's field. And they had found a tiny gap in some stock fencing. They'd exploited it, and they'll go under it. And pigs are super intelligent. They will know where that hole is. They will go back over and over again. And although I spoke to my neighbour a couple of weeks ago, and he said, you know, if they do get over here, it's no biggie. It's a biggie when they're going every single day and they're rooting and they're turning this lovely field over.
Come on.
So they're going to have to be contained in this smaller pen.
Come on.
Which is frustrating for a couple of reasons. One, they've got less space to roam. Their welfare's not as great because they would have been able to just go everywhere. And two, I will have to feed them because I've been feeding them hardly anything. Because they've been rooting around, eating acorns, insects, bugs, worms, crab apples, all sorts. Because they could forage and be as natural as possible. And now, of course, there's a little bit of greenery that's grown back since this pen was emptied of previous pigs. But yeah, I'm gonna have to feed them a lot. Luckily, half of them have gone to new homes and another 3 should be going this coming week, which will just leave me with the 3 boars. And actually, I may keep those 3 boars as fattening pigs for myself. You know, even though I can't free range my poultry all the time because of predators, it's still wonderful to see them in the daytime. And just look at these muscovies and the geese in the background. They are just absolutely loving exploring. I think I said in the last video where I talked about the rewilding plans over the next year, and make sure you go and have a look at that video because it talks about 2025 and what I'm doing. But talked about putting stock fencing from the polytunnel all the way across. And so this entire area here will be more poultry proof and the possibility of getting a livestock guardian dog as well so they can be out all the time. Because currently this is kind of the chicken shanty town with a few khaki Campbells. And then these ducks and geese get shut away in the barn every night, which is fine. I mean, it's fine to put them away, but it would just be, watching them now, it would just be lovely if they could just do that all of the time. And of course, geese and muscovies, especially, a lot of their diet is grass. So it cuts down your food costs as well. It cuts down your food costs. It's better welfare. It's better tasting meat. So all in all, I think it would be a very good plan to do. You can see here that we have a resident fox, and I haven't had the camera running for a while, so I'm not sure whether this is one of the foxes that pair up in the spring and always breed down in this den. It's obviously hurt itself, it's got a bit of a limp, but so we have the foxes around. And then we also had the badgers. Now, I don't think I've ever lost anything to a badger, but badgers are pretty vicious. And if they wanted to, they could break into a coop. They could eat a bird. There's 2 so far. There's always been 2 for the past 3 years. And they disappear in summer. So this must be a separate set. They must have another set somewhere. So I wonder whether they go away to another set to breed. And then they come back to this set because I've never seen babies. I'm desperate to see a baby badger. But they are super cute even as they are, and you can see them collecting nesting material and digging out the set ready for winter. So I wonder whether this is just a winter escape set rather than the main one. You can see that they are already attacking the greenery. Yes, that is a mattress. In the summer, when the sows were in here, they used that mattress. They just sort of lay on it and used it as a bed. It doesn't look nice, it doesn't look great, but the pigs like it, so that's the main thing, right? But it will also get them used to electric fencing, because they haven't experienced that since they were tiny little piglets, and that time they could just skirt underneath. So we've got the stock, and then we've got the line of electric around the bottom. So with any luck, we will keep them in. However, the reason I put them in there today is because I'm going to be on the farm all day. And I always like to do that when I move animals to a location, just do it on a day when I'm going to be around all day, because often there are escapes as they settle into their new area, because they don't know that's where they're supposed to be. So it's a good plan to make sure you're around to tackle rogue piglets or sheep or goats or cattle or anything back to where it should be. The perk of them being in here, though, is I can watch them from my window. And even my work, here's my desk. And here are piglets. That's pretty good. So today's video is sponsored, well, by me. Coming new to the farm is the chance to adopt one of the many animals that live here. Coming first, and largely because actually some of you have requested it, are my 3 magnificent owls. So if you love Horatio, or Oz, or our new lovely snowy owl boy, Ilias, you can now adopt them. A year's adoption fee is £25. You will get an adoption certificate, a leaflet on the owl itself, digital newsletters through the year, a photo of the chosen owl, and also a little owl keyring. It's great as a gift for yourself or for other people. It's a fantastic way of helping support the farm and the development of the conservation area and the upkeep of these beautiful birds. And so if you're interested, I put the link to the website page in the description below. You can take a look at what's on offer. Hello, bud. The one-eyed Horace cat is doing very, very well. You are so sweet. Honestly, from feral to friend, I think he knows the effort and TLC that it took to save him after that huge injury. At this time of year, well, in fact, at any time of year, I like to take a few minutes just to go for a little stroll around the land and just take it in, see what nature has been doing. This is one of the first areas that I tackled. Even before I moved back to the farm, we took this field and started sowing wildflowers in it and also some trees, and nature has reclaimed it beautifully. And it's kind of the first area of the farm that's been maintained with a footpath and a little guided walk area, and it means that when I have the open days, I can send people down here and people can just come and explore. And this will be a major part of the open Rewilded farm experience. When I have public coming, they'll be able to come and explore this area. And I think it's just fascinating that, you know, when this, in spring and summer, this area is just full of green and flowers and pollinators and bees. But at this time of year, it's equally as pretty. It's full of seed heads, thistles, flowers, old grasses, some marshy grasses and marshy reed type things where it's been heavy clay soil. And I think it's pretty spectacular, to be honest. Funnily enough, it was here that I was walking yesterday looking for the pigs, and here is my neighbour's field, and they've got a big muck heap over here, and I suddenly spotted little black things in this field, and you can see here, this is where the piglies were. So they've obviously found, this is stock fence the whole way along on their side. they obviously found somewhere to get through. So hence why we can't have that. As cute as it is, and as much as, you know, my neighbours don't mind a one-off. But yeah, not my land. Why they didn't come into here, because this would have been beautiful for them to rustle around in. Although there's quite a lot of, there has been quite a lot of deer damage in here already, so actually leaving this aside from the piglets just for a few more years until the trees are bigger and things is probably a good shout. I've been spending a little bit of time, just a few minutes here and there, you know, a 10-15 minute stint, just sitting in the bird hide as well, just looking, and A, looking, and B, getting the wildlife that frequents the feeders, the birds mostly, used to me being inside there, because they're used to the bird hide itself, but they're not used to somebody being inside the bird hide, and they can tell. So that's something that I've also been trying to do, because it's useless for people to come and sit in the bird hide to look at the wildlife if everybody's scared of the people in there. So we just need to kind of chill them out a little bit and realise that out here is their safe space. They can fly away, but there is food if they want it. It feels strange today because my last CSA share was picked up last week. This is the first Sunday in 5 months where I've not had to harvest or wait for customers. There is, of course, still loads to do, because this is the state of the mess inside the polytunnel. Well, it's lovely and warm in here, but we already have lots of next year crops on the way. As we remember, the germination of the spinach was terrible, so I've got loads more germinating outside. These were some very old seeds of perennial flowers, and that's actually charred. That is not honesty, so none of them have really come up. But so I've got all of these seedlings, and then I have more here, which will be, or start to form, the basis of the 2025 season. So that is this afternoon's work, clearing out some of here, looking after these seedlings, and being productive for next year, which seems mad to say, but it will be here before we even know it.